Good afternoon. I would like to call the Flint Board of Education Special Board meeting to order at, what's the time?
Thank you.
5:04.
Thank you, 5:04 p.m. Board members are called your name, please say present for the record. Treasurer Luna,
Present.
Trustee Relifer,
Present.
Vice President McIntyre,
Present.
Trustee Boo,
Present.
Secretary Perkins,
Present.
myself present, absent, Sheree King, 6 present, 1 absent. The board will not hear comments from the public. I ask that you state the reason for addressing the board and that you limit your remarks to 3 minutes on the matter within authority of the board. The presiding officer of the board should have the right to limit the number of persons who may address the board on the same subject. Please state your name before we begin to speak. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address the board? You can step right up here, please. Yeah. Thank you.
James Cook.
Yes, Mr. Cook.
I am looking to be put in contact with somebody about purchasing one, if not multiple, of the, I guess they're called GSRP buildings in the city of Flint, the old school units. The one I'm most concerned is at 1848, or I'm sorry, 1844 South Averill Street. I've been in contact with Thurn Law Firm, who was supposed to be controlling it, but then they recently told me that it's back in your guys' hands. So I'm trying to maybe get that process going, and we're interested in others as well, but that one first and foremost, only because we own the 2 on either side of that as well. So
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Yes. Anyone else would like to speak? Proceed.
My name is Cheryl Bartley, and similar to him, I just returned from the military. But 3 years prior to me getting out the military, I purchased a property, and I'm not looking to purchase a unit, but there's a plot where a unit used to be right beside the property that I purchased. Now that I'm out the military, I've been working on it, but I have been cutting the grass because on it for almost 3 years now, the plot. And it's just vagrants and trash with the kids put on it. And the same thing as him. I've been calling and went to Thurn also, and they told me you guys had took it back. But I'm trying to purchase the plot that's adjacent my property. Now that I'm home and trying to get my home squared away, I've been cutting the grass and paying to get the grass cut and doing it myself for 3 years. So I'm trying to see if I can buy that plot. There's nothing on it. It's just a little small piece of land, and I'd like to buy that that's right beside my house.
What's that address?
I've got the parcel number. My address is 2013 Canterbury Lane, but it's on Clover Lawn, right at the corner. There used to be another unit there, but Land Bank tore it down. The one that's what's beside it. I just know the parcel number because there's nothing no longer in that spot. But now I'm home and I'm working on it. I just cut the grass again 3 days ago and cut down the trees that was around it because the gophers are there. I love the cats because they keep the mice away. But if I would like to just purchase it instead, and since I'm already paying the money to keep it up. But
Okay.
that doesn't matter.
And I think we normally don't comment, but since it's just 2, I think that after this week or something like that, I agreed to Troon that I would get back in contact them once we get everything set back up and we can start this process.
So would I be able to get a PLC or something?
Huh?
Huh?
What's the parcel number?
I think Troon has all your information. He has all your information. You work with Troon, TRUN. What about that parcel?
Yeah, his name is Gordon Van Leeuwen.
Okay, yeah. So we have a list. We have everything that you have. He has it, and we're gonna reach back out to him.
Okay.
At the proper time.
Okay.
What's the parcel number?
It is 4635105043.
I'm gonna repeat it back to you. Make sure I get it right.
Okay.
4635105043.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Board member, in your packages are your minutes please review them.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. Are there any correction in the minutes? Seeing none, the motion to approve the minutes from May the 2026 board meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve the motion. Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Trustee Booth.
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre.
Yes.
Trustee Relifer.
Yes.
Treasurer Luna.
Yes.
And myself, President McNeil, 6 yes, 1 absent. At this time, we will have a presentation from the Flint Center for Education Excellence by Dr. Janelle Amy. Please come forward. Board member, I ask that you write your question down until the end of the presentation. Okay, thank you. Please. And Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, you can also hit your photo so you can ask, the attorney can ask questions, because that's why he's here. Dr. James, how are you?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Good.
Good.
Did I see you with a cowboy hat on this weekend?
Not this weekend, unfortunately. But you
Are
should
you gonna be doing anything from here?
Yep, just
Okay.
a couple. Let's get them all there.
Mel.
Should have saw plenty of orange cowboy hats.
You went to that show?
Yes, I was on Saturday. Financial. CSO. Okay.
So now you can see the hard copy because it's the shared because I'm not part of the organization. Yeah. Let me see. It's right. I'll follow along with you. Okay.
Okay. I think we're all set. Superintendent Jones, Dr. McNeil, any framing before I jump in?
So what now?
Ready for me to jump right in?
Okay, yes, yes.
Wonderful.
Got the
All right.
floor.
Well, good evening, trustees, and thanks for this opportunity to talk about this opportunity to expand the work that we've been doing on the DTM Educare campus. If you go back almost 10 years ago, Educare Flint opened in 2017, and part of our community-wide effort to expand high-quality early childhood education for students in the city of Flint. And we saw at the Brownell Holmes campus what happens when we expand early childhood education, but expand that with a really intentional core instructional program and opportunities for out-of-school time learning. We have an exciting opportunity that we'd like to present to the Board of Education today to take some of the lessons learned from the Brownell Holmes campus and potentially replicate at Educare and DTM. So, to the next slide. So just a little bit of background, and one of the things that we try to ground ourselves in frequently at the Flint Center is where Flint kids go to school. And so on this map, you see the darkest blue areas are areas that serve about 80% of Flint resident students. And that includes obviously Flint Community Schools. This is an area, this is a district where the majority of students that you see in a day will be Flint resident students. But when you look just outside of the city in Westwood Heights and Atherton and Carmen and Bendel and Bentley and Kersley, these are areas where at least 1 in 5 students who are attending those schools are Flint resident students. What we like to remind ourselves all the time is that no matter where a family chooses to enroll their child in school, they're going to come home every day to a Flint neighborhood. And what types of opportunities are available to them before they start school, right? Early childhood, but also when they're out of the school hours, are also critical questions for her to answer, not just also which schools they attend during the day. So just quick highlights of the work that we've been able to do in partnership with Flint Community Schools and the Flint Center since we began our work together about 3 years ago. And so we're in all Flint Community School sites and excited for that. We're currently supporting about $3.6 million per year in out-of-school time programming that includes our community school directors and expanded learning coordinators, but also all of our full-time success coaches as well. And currently 2,117 Flint Community School scholars participating in community education and after school. So jump right into the opportunity here. And the first slide here just shows the current Educare DTM campus. And so you see Educare to the upper left hand of the screen, DTM to the lower right hand side of the screen, and then outlined in a red dotted line there is the current facility that we're hoping to discuss today. And you see a picture of the facility here to the right of the screen. It's a brick building. It was originally a family resource center on the DTM campus. And then it's directly next to the playground. As you all know, there's been some exciting planning happening for the DTM playground that's going to really just transform that campus. And we see this proposal as an opportunity to really attach onto that investment. And so that outlined area, this outlines our proposed plan. What we're proposing is the redevelopment of the brick facility, the former Family Resource Center, to approximate a cube, very similar to what the work done at Brownell and Holmes. We're proposing a parcel from the current DTM property, and so this depiction does show the proposed property line. As you see, that property line will run directly next to the playground, the approved playground design, but will not intersect or interfere with the approved playground design. You see that the proposal includes adding a second floor to the existing Family Resource Center, which we'll talk about in a moment, a parking lot along the right-hand side of that facility, and then also creating an easement onto Cottage Grove to ensure that parking and traffic flow is coming from Cottage Grove to the cube rather than through the parking lot for DTM to the cube. So this just gives a quick overview of the playground design for DTM, and so just again for proximity, this would be standing from Educare Flint, looking up at DTM, including the hill there, and then you see the large play structure kind of ending the playground. So just added that in for context, but we'll move to the facility now. So this shows a potential rendering of what the two-story facility could look like at DTM. This is an adaptive reuse project, and so we're working with the existing building and then adding onto it. But again, 2 floors, approximately 7,500 square feet, so about 2,500 square feet larger than the current cube, but located directly next to the gym at DTM on one side, and then obviously the playground on the other side. Another vantage point here for the potential addition. We'll keep going. And then this just shows some potential on interior spaces. As you see, really intentionally able to section this space off into three individual commons, very similar to the cube at Brownell Homes, but also able to open all three of those spaces up into one large convening space. And the first floor depiction there shows the kind of opened up large space. And then same thing on the second floor, a little bit smaller of a footprint. That's really just due to our current budgetary realities, which we'll talk a bit about in a moment, but very similar concept on the second floor. And that gets us into the budget. Total, the project is about $4.3 million. About 2.4 of that will be actually renovating the existing facility. There'll be another about 1.3 million in additions to the second floor, and then close to about $500,000 in site improvements. And the major site improvement that we'll be adding or proposing to be added through this project is a splash pad on the campus, and so really integrating water play, and that will be integrated in those site improvements. So timeline is there at the bottom. We're currently working with Sedgwick and Ferwita on conceptual designs. What we'll want to this summer, if approved by the board, begin immediately working with students and neighborhood residents on a community co-design process to really make sure that we get the design of the facility right. But then starting construction this fall with a potential open date of next fall would be the ideal. We've currently secured about $3.5 million through a municipal support grant to support this project. We looked at 3 different locations, this being one, but just by and large, for myself, for our board, and for our staff, we think that this is really the greatest opportunity with us serving so many students at DTM during the after school hours. We also requested another $1 million in a designated support grant from the Michigan legislature, which we're hoping to see passed this fiscal year with the fiscal year 2027 budget. So I'll take a beat there and answer any questions if you have any.
Trustee Perkins.
Is this gonna be considered a Flint community school?
So we're proposing the sale of this property to the Flint Center for Educational Excellence solely for the purpose of after school programs though.
And the splash pad, in the wintertime, how you gonna cover?
So there's a lot of different ways that you can design splash pads so that they can be used both during the summer for actual water play, but then really transform in the wintertime for other types of play. Well, not necessarily ice skating, but like monkey bars, those types of things, just to be able to use them for in the wintertime. But maintenance and those types of things, the water bill, those things will fall on the Flint Center for Educational Excellence, not onto the Flint Community School.
Trustee Blue, what I want to say, we have the attorney here. Feel free if you have to interject, because that's the purpose of having you here, is to ask those questions that superintendent we had any concerns about. Trustee Blue.
I think this is a great idea, but I was wondering, will you be just servicing DTM students, or you will be servicing other students throughout the Flint area?
So the idea is to serve students in the DTM neighborhood. DTM is currently one of our largest sites right now, and so ideally we'll be able to open those additional 300 slots or so in this queue to expand access to after school programs at DTM. But ideally we will be able to serve not just the students at DTM, but the families in that neighborhood, the neighborhood association, really a community use facility with a primary focus on students at DTM.
Okay.
Trustee Rutherford.
I'm just gonna cut to the chase. It's gonna be a no for me because we want Flint Community Schools to be a beacon. We want individuals to know to be a part of Flint Community Schools, you will have this. I don't think we're in a position, it's just me speaking. I think it's amazing. The only thing I don't like is it's not Flint Community Schools building. It should be able to remain Flint Community Schools building so the community can have access to it. So I think selling it would definitely go against what we're trying to do. We're reinventing, not reducing. So I would just say that if it remains a part of Flint Community Schools property, it would be a yes for me. I think it's needed, but it's just that to me, and I think someone wrote this, and it kind of stuck with me, and it says, it's nothing like the new high school. You don't want your kids going to Flint Community Schools, but you do want them to go to school in Flint. That stuck with me. And Flint Community Schools, we're not as good as we used to be, but we're there. We're on our way there. And what we're doing, we're rebranding ourselves. And I think we're doing a very good job. But to have access to Flint without acknowledging Flint, that doesn't work well for me. I just wanted to just say that, because that's what that looked like to me. We want what you have, we just don't want you.
Is there anyone else, attorney, would you like to, you?
Yeah, can you disclose what the other two sites under consideration are?
One is on the Whaley property. It's the former GHS facility, right where I think Fifth turns into Flushing. I might be saying that correct. So
Across the Hurley.
that's correct.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. The other, sorry.
Go ahead, we sorry.
I'm still,
The other, which ended up just not being feasible, was here in the Cultural Center, looking at the Walker facility, but that just ended up not being feasible, so we didn't move forward on that. We did move into schematic design or conceptual design on the Whaley project, but had concerns about transporting students from one place to another for after-school programs, and so wanted to find something proximate. I will say that the funds that we're using are specific to an adaptive reuse project, and so they do require that we rehabilitate a former government school or commercial facility. So it wasn't just looking for vacant property, it was really looking for an existing facility that was vacated either by government, a school, or for commercial purposes that could be reused for early childhood or after school programs.
so what are the drawbacks to, say, having a long-term lease with the school district as opposed to like taking the property outright? Is there any way that we can do more of a partnership or collaboration with the Flint Center for Excellence? Because I understand the importance of site control, and I've come to understand a lot more about the intricacies of the partnership between the center and the Mott Foundation and, government entities and things like that. And I appreciate your stability and what would be the word for it's if we can do more of a partnership, I can appreciate the Center for Educational Excellence because it gives more of a legitimacy and long-term focus to the school as a district, and I'm thinking that's important given kind of like the history of Flint schools and the possibility that there might be upheaval in the future, I guess, with school systems and things like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm just wondering, is there any way to have more of a, an equal partnership? Or is that written into the grant? Like you're saying that the reuse, does it mean that you have to acquire land? So there's no possibility of leasing or having, more ownership from the schools, because I'm just really hesitant. I'm with Trustee Relaford on that I'm really hesitant about I want more to be brought into the school district. rather than just, I really want the school directors to be back in the school district. And so I'm kind of, I guess I'm just sort of talking out loud here at the moment. I'd love to have a conversation with you because I would just want, I guess, certain assurances, if we were to go forward with this type of agreement, because I don't think I'd be comfortable with having this agreement with the Center for Educational Excellence if you weren't there as the ED. I'd be really worried. It would be a definite no. And I'm just, worried about your tenureship and when and if you're gonna move on and that kind of thing, and leadership change and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, I've got more questions. I just kind of want to, yeah. And I'm sorry for rambling, but it's a, yeah.
Thank you. He's gonna pass out.
Yeah. But I'm not close to it. But I would like to sit and more think and think with it and maybe ask you some more questions, maybe like in a meeting or something like that.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Nolan?
Thank you. I think for me, you tell me if I'm wrong, this is an enhancement grant from the state of Michigan.
That's correct.
So again, I could be wrong, but that essentially is how we're asking for this $8 million for our demolition. So sometimes how the language is promulgated and written, there's specific requirements.
No, I get that.
Yeah, no, I know,
Okay.
and you mentioned that, but I'm just saying, so there's, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about this about Longfellow 3 years ago, how
Right.
there's specific requirements of how that site can qualify for certain supports.
Yeah.
So I think it's tough, right? So if, in theory, if you don't approve it or support it, but the way it's written,
Right.
we wouldn't be able to have that money invested into our students. So I just wanted to put that out there.
For sure.
And you kind of said that.
Yeah.
Dr. Jamerson, first of all, I know it's the vision of the board. Well, I can't speak for the board, but I know we've been talking about having more cubes, and you've been instrumental in that. Will Flint Community School kids be serviced? Like, how are they serviced above? I think Miss Trustee Booth talked about the kids around the area. How are they serviced before anyone else? And how long is that? Like, is it in perpetuity? Is it something to where Flint Community Schools is always what we call first dibs on things, or and I think the other question was about the name. Is the name the Cube at DTM Educare? Is that the name that the school will be, and will that be in perpetuity? So those are the two perpetuity questions that has come up in conversation.
Yeah.
Could you speak to that?
For sure. And this is consistent across all of our program sites, that any student who lives in the city of Flint can enroll in a Thrive After School program. That's even today. But first come, first serve is to the students who are enrolled at the school. It's just unfortunate that, for example, at DTM, we have about 200 after school slots. All of those slots are filled by students at DTM. So a student who lives in the neighborhood who doesn't go to DTM could still apply for one of those slots, but they're automatically waitlisted. Now, if they come up on the wait list and we have a slot that's opening, but a student from DTM applied that same day, that student from DTM still gets that slot. Again, with that idea being that families should have the fewest barriers to actually participating in an after-school program, and that includes transportation from wherever the child is in school to where the program is. And so that's how all of our programs are set up. That's structured in our partnership agreement that way, is that students who are enrolled at the school are first to enroll. As it relates to the name of the building, we have not named the building at all, and so that's a working title. We would hope to arrive at a name of the building through that co-design process that we would recommend happening this summer. But to get people really understanding the concept of this space, this flexible space that's really youth oriented and able to expand the school day into the out of school hours, we wanted to at least use that title to get people thinking. We'll say that the funding is specific to the acquisition of a property, but I would say that we have existing frameworks, even on that property, that ensures that we're playing in the sandbox well together. And I would say the Educare partnership agreement between the Community Foundation, Flint Schools, GISD, the Mott Foundation, and the Flint Center, I think, is a really good example of that. In the same way, Flint resident students have priority on enrolling at Educare. Flint Community Schools has a seat at the table that makes decisions related to that facility. So it's not something that happens in isolation at all. And we would see this potential facility operating very much in the same way under an expanded partnership agreement or joint use agreement.
Oh, this is round one, and then we'll go to round two. I'm gonna end with round one, then we go to you. Okay. I listen very closely what you're saying, and I am in agreement with this plan for the simple fact I want that space over there. We have an abandoned building. We're always talking about safety and all of this. And we have an abandoned building that anytime something can happen and it's sitting on our property, the school. And I think it's been sitting there, how many years that building been abandoned? I already did the research on it. But it's been there empty for a very long time. The kids out there playing, and they have to look at this piece of property where we talking about partnership, and I hear what you're saying, that we're talking about bringing the children together. Even though it can be Flint communities, school kids, they can be somewhere else. But they still our children in the city of Flint. There should be no division. And I like that concept. DTM been around. That's one of our high performing schools. So we need to upgrade that and make that more friendlier to the community and take care of that Montessori area over there. The parks are going to be taken care of. The cube would be just perfect for that area. I think Perkins and someone else and we walked with you through that property to see the work that you're going to be doing. However, I hear what my colleagues saying. Maybe we'll sit down, we have the attorney here and talk about a memorandum of understanding. Because we all do better when we all do better. One thing about land, it doesn't mean anything you don't know how to make it work. And I'm not like the dog at the haystack because I can't eat the hay. I don't want the cow to eat it. So we have to look past that concept. We got 680 some acres of land that we're not using. We got vacant property that people wants to do something with. So it's this board responsibility, kind of like you have to give a little, take a little. It's not the end of the world if we agree to this, because guess who's gonna benefit? Your property taxes are gonna get better, your community gonna look better, the kids is gonna, I just hate to see the kids come out of DTM and look at that building over there. So I would agree to this here based on what the attorney have to say. As we move forward, I believe that this came up a while back about that land, a while back. And I think we said $1. Let's just be fair, that's what we had said. And that you're investing in it, you're digging it and you're investing in it. And so we have talked about this here a while back, and here we are again bringing this forth. A lot of things we have talked about, then we had change of seats and all of that, whatever. But I am agreeing with this, but I would like to meet with the attorney, or we did talk about some type of a memorandum of understanding, am I correct, Superintendent Jones, that we will look forward to. And at this point, before we go to round two, the attorney is sitting here, address some of those concerns that you think, are you prepared to do that?
Yeah, I have a few.
You can come sit here.
Notably, if the board were interested in selling the property, there would have to be a survey and a land division approved by the city first. And as part of that, there would have to be some road frontage, which I think is the purpose of the Cottage Grove.
That's correct.
Entrance. Yeah. So that can delay matters a bit. In terms of the purchase price, I didn't hear one discuss. I know that there's a significant investment, $4.3 million. But that's another wrinkle to iron out. The building, it hasn't been used in years, so I mean, there's nothing going on the building right now, and it's a standalone building. But yeah, again, that survey with the red dotted lines in your presentation would have to be approved by the city before you can move forward.
We did retain Roe
Okay.
through this process and connected them with Clark through Flint Community Schools just to walk the property and actually facilitate that survey. We do have that survey complete, and they've corresponded with the city with the legal description of the parcel as proposed when needed. It's available.
Okay, good. And just to be clear, your funding is contingent upon actually owning the property. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
But at the same time, we're still talking about it's community driven. Everybody has access to it. The DTM Flint schools and the Q has proven to be very useful, and I think it'd be very useful. Yeah, it will. It's just gonna make a difference. And I'm just asking the board to look very closely at this here and look outside of the box. We're talking about revitalizing. We're talking about the R4s, and this would be a big plus for that area over there. And so many people have given this district so much, and it's time for us to give something a little bit back. So I kind of support this here along with me meeting again with some type of memorandum of understanding. Round 2 is getting ready to go. Trustee Rutherford.
I guess when I hear this, I think about Educare. And Educare came about through the water crisis. And when that building was built, it had the best of the best for the students. I think from maybe 3 months old to 5 years old.
6 weeks. Yeah.
6 weeks all the way up to 5, correct?
That's correct.
Those services did not follow those students after 5 years old. That's what bothers me.
Yeah.
And everything starts off amazing. We go do this, we go do that. But Flint schools just get left out. I think I'm with my colleagues. I think great to lease it because you still want that F on that building because that's a part of this community. That's our tradition. We can remain, and I guess also with Center for Excellence, you guys are what, 5 years old?
Yes.
So that's relatively young
That's correct.
to take on something like this. And again, I guess I'm with my colleague. If it wasn't for you, I don't think I would have a conversation. But that's because you come through Educare, EduStaff, Educare.
Yeah.
And you did an amazing job there.
Thank you.
Your leadership, but that's you.
Yeah.
But this right here, to me, I don't think we need to sell the building. I think we could partnership and build it because I see Walker on here, and Walker is owned by the Mount Foundation. And you're looking at Waverly right across from Hurley. And then you look at DCM, you got Kettering right across the street. And Kettering's going to make sure that area is amazing. I would love for Kettering, Flint Community Schools, and Center for Excellence to have a piece in that. I mean, I haven't heard a reason to sell. I could see leasing. And that's collaboration, and that's partnership, and that's relationship building. But I don't want Flint Community Schools to be left out.
Yeah, heard on that. I would say that the only barrier to utilizing the resources that we have to lease the facility is that the resources do require an acquisition. And so that we're limited in that regard. I would say that an MOU that clearly outlines the Flint Community Schools priority, Flint Community Schools use and access, I think that's more than reasonable, and I would say very consistent with what we did at Educare. I would say that you're right, that our work at Educare focused specifically on 6 weeks to 5 years of age, and then a transition, right, to kindergarten, to DTM. About 40% of our students from Educare go to DTM currently. About 60% overall go to Flint Community Schools, but there's not necessarily, to your point, at the time, there wasn't a real clear articulation of that transition from preschool to kindergarten. I'd say we're doing a lot of work on that in our early childhood collaborative and really beginning to envision not just how does a child transition, but how does a family transition as well. And we see the playgrounds, but we also see this potential facility as a huge part of how this campus could work together. So the ownership piece is very, it's a requirement, but I would say in terms of how we work together, absolutely open to an MOU that outlines that and goes further than our current MOU.
I just want to see that beautiful F on that building, like we have at Brownhill. That's all. That was my comments.
Thank you. Anyone else? Trustee McIntyre. So, to Trustee Relaford's point, Flint Center for Educational Excellence is only 5 years old, but it really is a continuation of the transition from the CRIM and the Youth Quest. Basically, when we had that criticism of it, when the community was critical of those institutions, that's what you morphed into. So it's kind of, I mean, this is what the Mott Foundation does. Not that that's bad necessarily, but that's just a fact of how it is. It's co-opted in a way. So if ever there's any community dissension or criticism, the Mott Foundation kind of pivots to alleviate some of that criticism. And in this case, I am more positive about the development of the Flint Center for Educational Excellence. Again, because of you, and I'm not trying to gas you up or anything like that, but for real, like I would be worried that you would do an Isaiah Oliver and get shipped off to Florida because somebody in the Mott Foundation decided that you were too dangerous or getting too powerful, and there was some kind of a shift going on. I've been worried about that. And if that happens, then I'm not sure about our relationship with the Flint Center for Educational Excellence. So I'm wondering, it's a done deal now that you've written the grant the way that it is, but I just am really sad that I guess that the grant wasn't written to include the Flint schools in a more integral way, that it had to be like that we sell the property to you, and so now we don't have a stake, that kind of a stake in it. Again, I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way that we can be bigger stakeholders in this project. And I'm concerned about the fact that one of the alternate sites was the Walker site, because that's going to be the new high school.
So it just wasn't feasible, right? So we looked at it.
But it's going to be the new high school for
Yeah.
the cultural center. So one of the reasons why is because the Mott Foundation has their puppeteer fingers in everything going on in the city. They're controlling everything that's happening. And I'm just wondering how connected this is to the 2013 master plan that was already set into play. Like, this is, we've been able to try to nudge it more in a community direction, but it's still, there's an underlying riptide current of this master plan that's has its stranglehold over us. And that's what bothers me. That's what bothers me. So and it's not that I'm adverse to this project. I'm really excited. I think the specs are lovely. I think that it has a unifying component to it that, but I want to know where this fits into the 2013 master plan. Like, how much of this is divergent from that and how much is part of that, and only for informational purposes, because we're at a place now in 2020. I mean, Flint schools is where it is. So I mean, I accept that, but I would have to, I'd want to see a good MOU. I'd also like to have a conversation with you about where you think you're going to be, like personal, like, just your role with the Center for Educational Excellence. And, the other thing I had was, so the Children's Museum is absolutely not going to be there anymore. It's going to go somewhere else. Or is that a possibility that we could collaborate with that?
I'm not sure
institution?
what the status is of the Children's Museum
Okay.
right now, but I mean, they're there now. We
They're
work
there
closely with
now,
them
but
at
yeah, okay.
Educare.
All right, so again, I'm just still.
Understood.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any more comments from the board? Do you have more presentation to do?
No.
Oh, okay. I think the board has spoken. We will work together on an MOU. But I still want to let the board know, it's a lot of things that's happening, changing. And we can't control certain factors, that's here. Well, who has the pocketbook and who's in control, that's not in my role. My whole thing is the great outcome, the best outcome for the community and these children. And I think they deserve the best regardless. I truly believe that, Flint Center for Education Excellence has done a great job. You stepped in during the water crisis when nobody else would step in. A lot of things that we couldn't even didn't do, but you took the initiative to try to get to the problem. And my understanding that after that kid left after age 5, whatever school they went to, they had to kind of start that process over. But I don't think that no child has been left behind because of, Flint Center Excellence. They brought that attention to the water crisis. You brought it forth because there was some concern. And unless you lost a kid or lost a loved one in that water crisis, I think we kind of should watch how we pinpoint one person about it. I think you did a great job in bringing awareness to it. So saying that on that note, I know that we have the attorney sitting here and working with the Superintendent Jones and the committee that we have as relates to education and the schools, that we'll get with you and we do MOU and bring it back to the board and see if that's sufficient, and then we can move forward. What's your deadline?
So our funding has to be utilized by 2028. So the project has to be completed by September.
But what you need information from us, we need to know exactly what you need from us.
Yeah, ideally we'll get a decision from the board in June, and that will keep us on
This
track.
one.
Yes, for the proposed timeline.
Yeah, things is really tight. Okay, so seeing no other question, attorney, superintendent, and we get with you and we can work through these things. We do have the education, our team, which is your vice president, president, treasurer. We work as well as relate to the school initiative. And then we'll get back with the board as a whole. I ask the board to just drop in their concerns to, in our communication chat, and so we can address those concerns. Seeing no further questions, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much. Yes, thanks. Mr. Attorney.
Yes.
Time frame the city will take?
Oh, what's the question?
Estimate about the time frame that the city would take to do everything
Oh.
they need to do.
Yeah, somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks usually.
The land survey.
Yeah, because the
Land
DTM
survey.
campus is all one parcel.
But you need some information, a decision from us by the end of June.
That's correct. I can provide the current land survey.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I would like to ask Superintendent Jones to present action items to the board.
Okay. Let's see here.
HR.
Okay.
You ain't got no script for HR?
Yeah, you don't have one?
No, I don't have a script. I thought I believe in it.
It's not a council.
Oh, it's not a count, that's why you don't, because it's special.
Oh,
Okay.
just to move it.
Yeah, just, okay, proceed, Mr. Jones.
All right, I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 1.12 personnel recommendations.
So moved. Support.
It has been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion regarding the human resource personnel? Yes.
And Ms. Montgomery,
Hi.
you have a job there or something?
Well, that's why I kind of had the assistant director of HR here. I kind of wanted her to talk about some of the great work that HR has been able to do with recruiting teachers to the district. We have 16 new hires that we're presenting to you today.
Oh, thank you, and that's from all that training you did before, and great job.
I had never met you. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? I'm Tyra. I presented you guys, gosh, when was that? In December, I think?
Oh, I remember. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Tyra. I'm the Assistant Director of Human Resources. Keisha had asked me to come here to just kind of talk about what we've been doing. This is just a portion of some of the people we've hired so far. We have some others that'll be on the next board meeting's agenda, and hopefully even more after that. But just working really hard to recruit. So a lot of people, some of them are applying, and then a lot of other ones are literal like cold calls recruitment. They're applying for positions with other districts, and I'm reaching out to them to say, have you ever considered Flint? This is what we offer. We schedule an interview. We do the interview with the academics team and principals, and then we go and tour the buildings, and they're just kind of falling in love with the facility and where they're going and the principals and everything. So we are chipping away at all the vacancies that we had.
So what do you think is causing them to accept? This is huge. This is a big jump.
Well, if you do look, some of them are at the BA step 1. So a lot of these people are actually brand new teachers. The ones that aren't brand new teachers, I would say the support that our academics team is providing, and then the support that they're getting from like their school improvement coordinators and people that are in their building. So we talk to them about that huge process of like, before you come in for your first day of school, you're getting an orientation with the academics team. They're coming into your classroom on a weekly basis to see what supports you need. The school improvement coordinators at your building to talk to you about personalized data for your classroom. And I don't think other schools are providing that much support. So that's one thing that's a huge advantage for us. I think the $10,000 signing bonus is gigantic. No one else is offering that. And then for the people that are at like the higher scale, like maybe a step 14, anything really over step like 9, I would say it's way more competitive with other districts. So they're considering us over other districts as well.
So with them receiving the bonus, they're locked in for what, 3 years? How does that work? Is it
a
they're giving it in steps?
So it's just a 1 year.
Just a 1
of
year
the bonus, yeah.
Okay. And if they don't make it, they decide something happened. What, they pay it back? How does that work?
So
or they just keep it?
So basically what happens is within that 1 year, they work 30 days, then they earn the bonus. Then they would stay until the first semester, and then they earn another portion, and then they have to stay through the end of the year to get that bigger part.
So that's
bonus.
phases. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. How did you find the one-steppers? Did you go out to the colleges? Or I heard you say you did cold calls, but
Honestly, so in the system that we have where people can apply, there are these pools where it will show you in chronological order people that have applied for, say, any elementary teacher or any secondary teacher. And I just click their application, see if they would meet what we're looking for, and then I just reach out to them to say, hey, I saw that you applied for another district. Have you ever considered Flint Community Schools? Here's why you should. Let's set up an interview. And it's just been going really well.
one last question. Are you reaching outside, like HBCUs, historically black universities?
Yeah, I met with one not long ago, and then Saginaw Valley is a really huge school. Not HBCU, but it is a huge school in the area for education. So I have a partnership meeting with them to hopefully start funneling student teachers to us, so we can get them before they're even getting to that point. We're working with some more colleges to start doing fieldwork placements, which we really haven't been doing in the past couple of years. So right now, no, but I think that would be another opportunity for us to even grow the platform of where we can get more
Wayne
teachers.
State and Oakland, they're not HBCUs, but you would get a very good, you have a good pool of individuals that reflect the demographics of this. And I think it would be great to reach out with the students when they're going on the HBCU tours, to have literature or one of you guys join and, kind of recruit that way. I give y'all that for free as an HR chair.
Thank you.
But, kudos. Very
Thank you.
good, very good, very good.
Yeah, good job.
Yes.
I see most of these are for elementary. Okay, have you done anything for high school?
Yes, working very hard on getting high school and middle school. A little different because their endorsements are so specific. So really trying to find people, like people will apply for an English teacher, but they won't have an English endorsement. So then we have to be strategic on, okay, you want to work here, how can I make you fit? So yes, I have been reaching out to people, not getting a ton of luck for high school and middle school, but I think that the more I'm able to hone in on it, it's just elementary is so easy because it's K-8, they can teach.
Have you posted for English? Because I know there are two
Yes.
slots.
Yep, and we have one teacher that we just recently interviewed that I'm just waiting for a reference to come back, and then I'll be able to offer for her.
Okay, but they are posted.
They are posted.
Okay.
Okay.
Madam, Trustee Booth.
Yes, I noticed you have a lot of male teachers. That's good because it's hard to attract male teachers. Do you have enough mathematic teachers in the area of math? I noticed a lot is well, I see a few STEM, but do you have any mathematic teachers?
Yeah, we just got one for Holmes, one for Southwestern. I have another candidate that we're getting ready to interview, and then all the elementary are self-contained, so they have to be strong in math and English. But yes,
Okay. Yes, and you did a good job.
thank you.
Seeing no more further questions in the discussion, we would go for a roll call vote. The motion to approve resolution 1.12 personnel recommendation. Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Trustee Booth.
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre.
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford.
Yes.
Trustee King is absent. Treasurer Loner.
Yes.
And myself, yes, 6 yes, 1 absent. Proceed, Mr. Jones.
Seek a motion and second from the board to approve resolution 1.13, approval of the creation of the Dean of Culture and Climate positions.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I make a motion to approve action item 11.13.
Support.
Is there any discussions?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can they update this to say positions? I think I heard Superintendent Jones put a plural on that.
Yeah, it's a position, but I know that it's going into the schools, so
Yeah.
you wouldn't just have one.
Yeah.
So maybe it's me.
Okay.
But-
Okay, with that being said, where'd this come from?
So we have actually talked a while through executive leadership about creating additional support for the principals. They do have a lot of work, specifically if we think about the LSS population that we have. We've been able to identify that we need someone to kind of drive the work as it leads to culture and climate for the district. And so that's how this position came to be. The Dean of Culture and Climate is developed to strengthen the school culture, climate, improve student attendance, engagement, and support restorative practices. This position is a higher level position, even though we have the behavioral specialist role. We would be seeking a bachelor's degree for this person. As we know, across all the school buildings that we currently have, each role in different buildings can look a little bit different, and we're trying to streamline that so it'll actually be district initiatives that flow from the top down. So that way, if you're going from like DTM to Brynell, there shouldn't be too much of a district difference when it comes to implementing the initiatives that we have. So that's kind of the idea and the concept. It would not be a bargaining unit position. It would be at will. So this position would not be supervising staff. If the building administrator is out, they don't serve as an administrator in charge. They specifically focus on providing support to families, working alongside teachers to kind of coach and develop as it relates to culture and climate in the building. And so each building would get this Dean of Culture and Climate position.
And you only require 3 years of experience?
Yes, at least 3 years of experience.
You think that's enough? My reason for asking that is you require a bachelor's, and our schools are not easy. And you need to have someone that has the ability to have a hard conversation without destroying a person.
Yeah.
Being able to be brutally honest without destroying the situation. So I read it, you could tell. And I just think I think 5 years, because you're going from building to building. Each building is different, but you got to be able to pivot. This person needs to be mature enough, not emotional, but mature enough to know to be able to articulate the vision of the district without creating chaos. You know, we want to have we don't want to create any more confusion or chaos, but you want to be able to be stern but also kind, to be courteous but also creating a better environment, because you have a lot of people who are used to doing things their way. And so to have a person with only 3 years of experience to come and talk to someone who has about 10 or 15 years, so you have to be able to have good dialogue. So I just that with that just challenged me. That 3 years, I think that person got to be ready. You know, I just think 5 years. I know that would be kind of hard, but at least you have a seasoned person that has dealt with so many different situations. And then each school family have different dynamics. You know, say we got students that's off of Lapeer Road that they have a lot of trauma going on, and you know, it's like, okay, how do you communicate where the police was at the house last night, something happened? You know, how are you able to communicate that to where this student may need a little bit more time? You may have a test going on. This teacher may be focused on doing something, to be able to say, hey, this student needs to come with me, because how do you handle that without being disruptive? So I just wanted to have that little conversation with you. But good job.
Trustee, Superintendent
Yeah,
Jones.
I would note it for that. I would add to that, as we're approaching on trying to get our principals and teachers more focused on instruction, trying to have some support in this area will focus them more on that instruction. Principals being out of the classroom instead of in doesn't support instruction and academic excellence well. They're spending a lot of time out of the classroom instead of in supporting teachers. So this is another reason why I was a go to say, yeah, I think we need someone that can support the principals. We've heard from the principals to Congress saying that they're spending a lot of time in other areas, but we do need them focused on LSS supports, and we do need them focused inside the classroom supporting teachers in instruction. That's one of the reasons why this would be helpful.
So this is just a lot of words, a lot of, again, sound and fury signifying nothing. It's just another position, and I'm a dean for real. I mean, that's just pretentiously ridiculous at the K through 12 level. So I don't think this position doesn't make sense to me, because it's grant funded, 1 year, at will. You want somebody who's got a bachelor's degree and 3 years of experience, and yet you want them to be able to do all of this in a year. That's an at-will job. This sounds like a bunch of junk to me. I mean, I'm not putting down your work or anything like this. It's ambitious, but it really doesn't sound feasible or realistic. It just sounds like another layer of administrative gobbledygook. I don't see how this is going to help students. It's because it's school-wide. It's got promotes positive, inclusive, mission-aligned culture using data and stakeholder feedback. How does that actually look to the students? You know what I mean? Like, how is it actually going to help students? And how is this different than, what's that, Mr. Stearns?
Mr. Stewart's job.
Director of Student Services.
How is this different than what the director of student services does or is supposed to be doing? I don't, there's a lot, or assistant principals, or there's not enough clear delineation between the jobs that exist now and what this does and how it integrates into that. And it's only for a year. It just sounds like fluff because I don't see how it is going to be value added to what we have in that short period of time. And it's just another thing. It's like, well, we're just going to do this because it's grant funded and it's not coming out of the general fund. And here we are presented with something that we haven't even heard about until now. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, here we go. Here's this. And it would have been nice to have seen maybe some of the steps along the way about, hey, we're thinking about this and this is how we're developing it. And so I've got a lot of questions. It would have been nice to. So maybe just to simplify it, how is this going to look? Like, walk me through a day. This person gets hired. Here's this grant position for a year. Walk me through it. What do they actually do?
So actually, can I backtrack to go back to something that you said? Technically, we already have something similar to this role, but it's not a Flint Community School position. It's titled Student Success Coordinator. However, that role is being eliminated by the GISD June 30th. So we've actually already earmarked individuals that we can target for recruitment. Now, they still have to interview for the position, but they're already doing a lot of the scope of the work already that's happening. We just thought at a higher level, if we made it a Flint Community School position, and then what happens is, so you're right, we have the behavioral specialist. The behavioral specialist role is more of a boots on the ground approach, where it's an individualized student focused role that works directly with the students and the families to address behavior concerns and attendance issues. They conduct home visits. The Dean of Culture and Climate will be a school-wide leadership role that's responsible for creating and maintaining positive school culture and climate. And they're going to work making sure that we have streamlined systems and processes in place. So that's kind of the idea with that role. And then they also coordinate with the teachers to say, okay, this is what culture and climate should look like. If we have an attendance initiative, this is what it should look like district-wide in the building, instead of each building doing something different. So we've already been able to identify individuals who we're going to be recruiting to interview for that specific position.
Sorry.
Trustee.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I've had the privilege to work with the Dean of Students when I was a teacher in Chicago, Flint, and Detroit, in the K-8 level. And I'll say one thing. Number one, we serve mostly Black and brown students who are in poverty. And I just want to mention that, what about the behavioral specialist, the vice principal? Well, that to me is more punitive. This is a more proactive thing for our kids to build the culture and to prevent them from getting sent to the vice principal or the behavior specialist. And it really is a good thing for their education. It creates the culture so they can thrive. So we don't have to worry about them getting in trouble. So I'm supporting this tonight, personally. But I think it's a good proactive step. Being a former Black and brown student who had problems in school.
Thank you. I want to speak on this. I think what the problem is, something like this, we have an HR chairperson. When you guys are creating new jobs and we're finding out that GISD, these employees coming from GISD, right?
No.
No, you're not.
They're not.
But you said something about you was hiring people out of GISD. Maybe I misunderstood.
They would be under GATS. They would be under GATS.
Yeah, so this is where I'm at. When you guys are creating new jobs, and it is saved the board a lot of time, is that you could have contacted your HR person. We could have an HR subcommittee meeting, and we can go through getting a clear understanding of what you guys are trying to do. I know you guys don't like really coming to the board for everything, but certain things you should when you're making decisions. And then that way we can get a clear understanding of what this is all about. This just came in. This is a new position. And I don't know if you feel like that was important, but I just felt like if we could have gotten this in a subcommittee meeting, then we can have more, input and suggestion, because it's in the old policy, I'm not making up anything, is that the HR chairperson should have gotten hold of this and let us know. She would have had that information. And then we could have had a better discussion rather than trying to push this through, during this particular meeting and making the action item. So I just think that I would need to have more understanding of this, position, because I see it duplicate some of the work that certain people should already be doing. And I understand that being a student, how important it is, but I think we really need to sit down and have a serious conversation about this district. Because this district appears to be having all kind of problems, and we just putting Band-Aids on it and not really looking at what we can actually do. So that's my opinion about this particular. You might need it, but just because it's grant, I just don't support this right now, because I need time to really read and research and look at what is this whole goal is accomplished is. It's not the end of it, but I think this should go back to HR chair.
Madam Chair, can I say something since I am
Yes, you are.
the HR chair?
Yeah.
I think it would be great if this person was an overseer of all third parties in the building. Because that way, that person can streamline all the services that's going on, and that person will be able to speak to it, because that would eliminate the duplication of services. This individual can make sure everyone is doing their own part of the pie, instead of this person basically doing what everyone else are hired to do. So I just think the title is misleading, first and foremost, and we already have a lot of this in place, speaking to some of my colleagues' concerns, but I think if this person can work with all third-party individuals in the building to see exactly who's doing what, so they can pretty much present to the board who's in the building, who's doing what, and how this person is able to communicate everything that's going on. So when we have some bottlenecks, if you will, this person can identify them. So, but that could be a conversation. I'm not against it, but I can see where we can make some changes. So I'm here for it to help you all through it as the academic chair. Thanks,
Did
Madam
you-
Chair.
Thank you. Then I want to say something.
Yes,
HR chair, what did I say? Oh, sorry.
So, Ms. Montgomery, is this job only for 1 year?
No, it's not. So even though it's grant funded, the contract would be for 1 year. If the role, as long as those funds continue, we can keep the position where it will be ongoing. So we're not looking to say, okay, we're just gonna have this position for a year. Afterwards, it disappears. They would get a contract just like all other central office employees that go from July 1st through June 30th. And the position is contingent upon grant funds. So as long as grant funds remain, which it will, then the position and the role will continue.
Just like behavior specialist or
Correct.
any other?
Yes.
Okay, to you, Mr. Superintendent Jones.
Yes, ma'am.
I think we got to go back and look. I think Dr. Wanda Cook Robinson was supposed to be doing his internal audit. Boardman, you can correct me. And we still trying to hire extra people. I just think we need to really look at what are we doing here.
You want us to hold
Yeah.
and
On this,
table?
yeah, I think it's just me. I think because we got a lot of things going and we just keep piling and piling. And the process to me has not been clear. And we do have this internal auditing coming through just to see, are we just hiring people? Could we move people? Because I can tell you right now, there's a lot of people on payroll, but they got a lot of empty hands. So I just think that we need to look at this a little bit closely and see what is it that we really can need. This might be what we need, but at the same time, I would like to see that internal audit that Dr. Cook wanted was moving forward to bring, and let's look at that. What's the pleasure of the board? Are we done with discussion? So we would do a roll call to say yes or no. No meant that is.
I'll withdraw my motion.
Yeah, you
so
want to
that
withdraw your
I would
motion?
rather
Yes, sir.
withdraw my motion.
And then we look at it.
Yes, I would rather
Appreciate
withdraw.
that. So the motion has been withdrawn.
So you'll send it back to committee? Or what?
We can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna work with you.
Okay.
I'm working.
Okay, you want me to move forward?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 1.14, authorization to create a grant support analysis.
So moved.
Then proper movement second. Is there any discussion?
So would you explain why this is before the board?
Okay, so we identified in the grants department, the grants, well, the district actually had an audit finding for, what was it? Time and effort reporting. So because of that, we identified that additional support is needed for the grants department. So an individual in this role would be ensuring compliance and reducing risk. In this particular position, it would be related to grant record keeping. This role would provide support to staff at the building level, so they would be training on purchasing procedures, documentation requirements, time and effort reporting. They're going to strengthen cross-department coordination. So this person would serve as a communication bridge between schools, program staff, as well as the business office. This person also would be responsible for making sure that they're getting the documentation together to help prepare for when we do have audits, making sure that all documentation is together. This position is a grant funded position. It would be full year. It's already supported by existing grant resources. We did get a pre-approval from MDE, so they did identify that this is a position that the district would need. And the continuation of this role is contingent upon ongoing grant funding and ensuring that there is no impact to the general fund for this position.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
this is an
Page
important
15.
position.
Mhm.
This is a very, very important position. This person will be dealing with millions of dollars. Why are we only requiring a high school diploma?
So this position would actually be supporting the chief innovation officer. So they're getting documentation, making sure that they coordinate with the buildings. It's more of an administrative clerical role. But the chief innovation officer is really the person that's making sure that everything stays in compliance, and they're working closely with the CFO. From the programming side as well as the business office side to make sure that things continue. So this is actually like it's a lower level position.
But look what they're handling. They're handling and dealing, working side by side with the chief innovative officer, which we just happened. She happened to have a doctoral degree.
Mhm.
So I'm quite sure her conversation would be a little bit more than high school level as it relates to just basic. Her expectation is up here.
Mhm.
A person with a high school diploma, I'm not taking anything away from it because a high school diploma is a high school diploma. But when you go to college and you obtain a degree, that means you have some stick-to-itiveness. It gets hard. Things are difficult. But if you never are in an environment where it's difficult and you have to keep going, you'll give up. So I just think that the qualifications need to be higher. You need to have a bachelor's degree, and you need to have at least 2 years of experience in the school district as it relates to dealing with grants, understanding physical years, understanding audits, being able to understand, a financial statement, what all the grants that the Flint Community Schools receive, what they mean, what they can go for, understanding what they cannot be used for, when the deadlines are. It's just knowing that basic stuff. You have to have, I want to say, critical thinking skills. And just with a bachelor's degree, just with a high school diploma, I don't think that's enough time in the classroom and in the workforce to be able to have that. Now, if you say 5 years experience, then I can go with just a high school diploma, okay? But you have to either a bachelor's degree or either 5+ years of experience to kind of make sure that person has the wherewithal to handle what's coming their way. Especially when you're talking to a person with a doctoral degree in education. That's just my take on it.
Trustee McIntyre.
I just don't, I guess, understand where it fits in with the job pyramid, and how is it different than the one we just voted to hire, the grant procurement agent
On page
for
15.
central office? I mean,
So the grant procurement agent, that person specifically does the ordering. they do purchase orders. This one will be a little bit different because it's providing support. So it's training on the purchase order process. But again, there's time and effort reporting that has to be done. And it's a lot of clerical and administrative things that they would do. And then Ms. Rutherford, I
Yes,
wanted to bring something back. We actually did research on this role where we actually looked at other comparable positions in Genesee County. And this is kind of like a starting position. So when we looked at like the educational requirements, it's actually comparable to what we would be looking for. And then the idea is this person again will work with the chief innovation officer, the CFO, and then they would really work to train this person up as far as, okay, these are the processes and procedures we have in place, and this is the documentation, this is what I need you to do. You'll notice in the job description it says, and this is on the very first page, it says this position supports compliance with grant requirements, but does not make determinations regarding allowability of costs, approving expenditures, or performing fiscal oversight function. So we wanted to make sure that that rests with the administrators in the department, and they're just carrying out the day-to-day things that the CFO or the CIO wouldn't have time to do.
Okay, Ms. McGurran, I'm gonna push right back on you. Why do you gotta start with a blank canvas? I mean, the worst joy killer is comparisons. Flint Community Schools, we establish the standards. If you have a person that has the experience, some questions they don't have to ask. Now, when you have a person with no experience and the expectation is to depend, I don't know what there you go, Dr. Coleman, is to depend solely on Dr. Coleman. And what if she's not available? That means we gotta wait because they don't have enough confidence in making a decision. So what I'm just asking is, well, I'm just going to ask you. I'm not going to demand it. Just ask you. Raise up the expectations.
Okay.
Ask for a bachelor's degree or experience. I believe Dr. Coleman would appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
I promise you. So I try to speak for you.
Would it just help to take these two positions for president and have a HR meeting? So you can have a
I
little bit
think
more time
any
to
new
just talk
position,
about it.
any new position in this package that has not went through the HR committee, we're wasting time and we need to move it back over there to the HR committee because there's a lot of questions and I don't want to be here all night long. If we can get in the habit of putting new position in the HR where it's below over in the HR like we did in the past. And we won't have all of this long drawn out conversation. So do you want to withdraw that motion and move it to HR?
I love all of them.
Yes.
Well,
All of them that's got, all of them that's.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes.
It's just two, right?
It's just two.
It's just two
Yes, it's just two.
positions that are new. And if we need to talk about those two positions, I say we just put it in a
so
HR.
you're withdrawing that motion, yes.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes,
I have to leave early tonight.
yes, but, yeah, appreciate that.
Is there anything on the agenda you think that, warrants my discussion or input?
I don't see, it's still leave 4 at the table, 4 or 5 at the table. I don't think so, that it, if you got something to do, go ahead and take care of it. Thank you. It is, because we got a lot of stuff on here, so, I'm not gonna be here all night.
Okay. Let's get it.
So you withdrawn, 113, 114.
Okay.
Then you got the insurance, vendor agreement, we got the business service contract.
You ready for me?
Yes, sir.
Action item approved for human resource service contract.
That's just your share.
Well, this is a GISD service contract.
Just be knowing those.
So you got 115, insurance vendor.
You ready for me to keep?
Please.
Yes,
I seek a motion and second from the board to approve resolution 1.15, authorization to approve assurance vendor agreements.
Support. So moved. So moved.
it is properly moving seconds. They're in the discussion. Seeing no further discussion, do a roll call, to approve 1.15. Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Trustee Booth.
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre.
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford.
Yes.
Trustee King is absent. Treasurer Loomis is absent. Myself, yes. 5 yes, 2 absent. Proceed, Mr. Jones.
Yes, ma'am. I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve action item 1.16, approval of the business service contract with the GISD for finance director services.
Is there a, it's been moved, there's a second.
Second.
It's been properly moved second. Is there any discussion? Seeing no more further discussion, a roll call vote, to approve action item 1.16. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Trustee Booth?
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
No.
Trustee King is absent. Treasurer Luna is absent, and myself, yes, 4 yes, 1 no, 2 absent.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve action item 1.17, approval of the human resource service contract with the GISD for Director of Human Resource Services.
So moved.
It's properly moved and second. Is there any discussion? Seeing no further discussion, roll call. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Trustee Booth?
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
No.
Trustee King is absent. Treasurer Luna is absent. Myself is a yes, 4 yes, the motion passes. Proceed, Mr. Jones.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve action item 1.18, approval of the human resource service contract with the GISD for Assistant Director of Human Resources.
So moved.
Support.
It's been properly moved second. Is there any discussion? Seeing no further discussion, roll call vote for action item 1.118. Trustee Rutherford?
No.
Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Trustee Booth?
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Absent is Trustee King. 1 no, Mellon, and 2 absent. Motion passed 4.
Keep going.
Yes.
All right. I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve action item 1.19, approval of special education services, the GISD for Director of Special Services.
So moved.
Support.
It's been properly moved in seconds. There any discussion? Seeing no further discussion, roll call vote. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Trustee Booth?
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
No.
Trustee King is absent. Treasurer Luna is absent. Myself, yes, 4 yes, the motion passed. Board members, in your packet on page 79 is the retirement resignation. Do any board have any questions? Seeing no further questions,
Thank you.
Superintendent Jones, please continue with the finance and operation action.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 11.32, authorization of a proposal from ARC Environmental Group.
So moved.
Support.
It's been properly moved second. Is there any discussion? You want to expound on that just a second, Mr. Brown?
Mr. Velez, you can stay
You
there.
can just stay right there. Just
Expound on what we're doing with ARC.
Oh, you'd like me to?
Expound just a little bit on what we're doing with ARC.
So this is an annual permit that we have to have with the
Oh,
state of Michigan and Department of Legal for environmental regulation purposes. We have an MS4 permit that makes sure that we as a district manage our stormwater runoff and we protect the natural resources of the state.
Okay.
And that the Arch Environmental Group provides those services, manages that permit, and tests our sewers and makes sure that we are in compliance throughout the entire year. So this is an annual renewal of that agreement.
Okay, sounds great. Any more discussion? Seeing no discussion, roll call. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Trustee Booth?
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
Yes.
King is absent. Luna is absent. Myself, yes. 5 yes, 2 absent. Proceed, Mr. Jones.
All right. I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 11.33, authorization of a proposal from Sonatrol.
So moved.
It's been properly,
Support.
been properly moved and second. Is there any discussion? Seeing no further.
No.
Let's go.
So can I have a little explanation?
This is for the additional card readers at the Cube to meet licensing requirements for early childhood.
Yes.
You mean additional, like, so this is in addition to other ones?
So because of licensing, if you want to expound, Ms. Wilson, go ahead.
To the kids,
You
Mr.
can if you want to.
Yeah.
So, when we do our licensing for early childhood program,
Yes.
there are certain things that we have to have in place before the license is, given to us, granted to us. One thing is that we have to be compliant with emergency procedures. So we walk the building, and as we walk the building, Mr. Velez, we realized that we need to have extra card readers on doors
Yeah.
so that the doors can automatically lock in case of a lockdown. If these doors are not, otherwise everyone would have to have a key, try to run and lock a door when a lockdown is called. And that's not safe for our students. And it won't pass the license and inspection.
Okay.
So this way, if you have a door that has the card reader, then it locks. A teacher needs to get in or out, just swipe, just like we have on our front door here. They can swipe in, swipe out. The students are safe behind the locked doors at all times.
Okay, I just thought it was like a redundant system in addition, like there was another swiper
Okay.
system. I was like, wait, what? Okay, thank you for
And
that.
we're currently not able to have after-school programming in there until this
Gotcha.
is complete.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Because our after school falls under a child care license.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
So we have to have it in place for both after school, thank you, Mr. Jones, and for early childhood.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Any more discussion? Roll call. To approve resolution 11.33. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre?
Yep.
Trustee Booth?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
Yes.
Trustee King is absent, Luna is absent, myself is a yes, by a yes, two absent.
Right. I seek a motion and second from the board to approve resolution 11.34, authorization of a proposal from Sentinel.
Support.
It been
So moved.
so moved. Okay, it been properly moved and second. Is there any discussions?
So what's, okay,
Electronic security. Maybe the,
oh, okay,
Just for the
Router
key.
switches and wireless access points throughout the district.
okay, I'm sorry, I read the Sonatrol and Sonatel. That was, okay, thank you, sorry.
Okay. All man set?
Yeah.
Roll call. To accept resolution 11.34. Trustee Rutherford,
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre,
Yes,
Trustee Booth,
Yes.
Secretary Perkins,
Yes.
and myself, yes, by yes, two absent, King and Luna.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 11.35, authorization of a proposal from Johnson and Wood.
so moved.
Support.
It's been properly moved and second. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion.
Really? It involves boilers, nothing from you, trustee Rutherford?
Nope. We had a good conversation.
A little joke to.
He doing his part. I'm good on that.
Alright.
Okay. Roll call vote to accept resolution 11.35. Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Trustee Booth.
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre.
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford.
Yes.
And myself, yes, by a yes, two absent. Proceed, Mr. Jones.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 11.36, authorization of a change order from Lane Constructors.
So moved.
Support.
Properly move in second. Discussion. I don't
Yes.
know.
Madam
Speak a
Chair.
little, yeah, speak a little on that one.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the change order for?
Lieutenant Jones.
So we're seeking, this to install filtration kits on food preparation sinks. You wanna talk a little bit about that?
Yes.
Where
we
is this at in
received
the
it.
package? I'm sorry, sir.
It's
107.
through the second.
106.
Yep.
If I could have saw it, I wouldn't ask you first. Go ahead. I want to hear you talk anyway.
Okay. Thank you. We received a grant in the amount of $329,000 and some change. And, we had the proposal to do the water filling stations and drinking fountains to be compliant with the, Filter First legislation. The grant was to help us become compliant. There was excess funds. There was almost $45,000 remaining in that grant. And I realized after we brought the proposal forward for the drinking fountains that we could get an unlimited number of sink faucet filters added, including our food service kitchen faucets added to the filtration list to meet the new requirements of the Filter First legislation. So we wanted to go ahead and add that to the list. So this is a change order to include adding those extra filtration devices to the sinks throughout the buildings for all the, early childhood rooms and for the kitchens.
So why is it in excess of like $9,500 more than the grant? Like what? Because this is going to come out of general funds.
Yes, I discussed with Danielle Templeton, our CFO, the fact that it came a little over, and we agreed that it was better to spend a little more than to lose the $35,000.
This can't come from
$45,000 in grants.
like the food, like this because they're kitchen sinks. It can't go towards our food allotment, or
The small part of it could, but it's not all just kitchen sinks, because they're also
Okay.
found a drinking fountain station that needed to have the line replaced. And they're working on this change order.
I mean, I know it seems like a piddly amount, but honestly, it's just like everything adds up. So I'm just trying to be mindful of our general funds.
What I've been told about that is the food service grant is specifically for food service, and some of the building modifications have to come from general funds.
Okay. All
which
right.
includes-
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes.
this may be small, but I'm just looking at the end of the contract change order. It's got Flint County Schools. Is that a typo? Yeah, it's got Flint County Schools.
That's a mistake. Yeah,
Okay.
we can
It also
correct that.
says up in project name, Flint County Schools.
You talking about the
The invoice, the
invoice.
contract order from Lane
Yeah.
Construction.
So
So
we're
it
not
says,
covering the county.
it says Flint County
No,
Schools.
we can get that handled.
But everything else say Flint Community
Yeah.
Schools, but, somebody may find it. So the difference will come out of general funds? You're looking at what, about $12,000 difference?
9,500.
Oh, 9,500? Oh, I was just guessing. Okay. That's not bad. It's worth doing it. If
Yeah.
I had to vote yes, I
Yeah.
would. Or am I allowed to vote? Okay. I'm actually paying attention, y'all. Any more discussion? No, you don't think I am.
1.36.
Vote for 11.36 approval. Secretary Perkins,
Yes.
Trustee Booth,
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre,
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford,
Yes.
and myself, yes, 5 yes, 2 absent. The motion passes.
Can we keep going?
Well, we have to talk about this, Chet. Where are we at here?
Gotta do the schedule.
Board members, in your package on page 122 is the monthly check registers, and page 131 is the disbursement by account reporting for May. Do any board member have any questions? We don't do this.
Okay, I got a comment.
Yeah,
You said by the time you get on here, there's nothing we can do, right?
right.
So I'll have no comment.
But you can also raise that issue up in finance, it's some concern that you might have. We can put that on the information chart log and send that over to finance.
I guess my question, just to make sure that there's no duplication of payments. Because when they're all running like this, for example, per student is $406,000, then you see another $842,000. That's a lot of money in one check register to me for 1 month. That's all. And then $374,000. It's just. It's a lot.
And I think we can put these things on the log because we always had those concerns and stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe we can look at those and put those on the log, and finance can
And we could address these in a finance subcommittee.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
as a whole, we do need to discuss that.
I would say anything over $250,000 need to have its own discussion so that we can look at it. Because
We haven't had any finance discussions at all.
the finance person's gone. Wow.
Right.
Okay.
But
That
we
was-
can't
that's
put that
my-
on the log and call for a finance meeting.
Okay. Can we set an amount like anything over $250,000?
I think we have to make that as a meeting
Put it
board.
on-
Just asking.
Yeah,
A
we,
good number. Okay.
yeah.
All right. That was my only comment.
Okay, Superintendent Jones, please continue with the board committee of the whole.
Yes, ma'am. I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve action item 21.11, Flint Board of Education schedule. Oh, should I be doing that? Well, I'll do it anyway. Schedule of regular board meeting from 26 to 27, including the meeting locations and meeting times as agreed upon by the board.
So moved. Just stay the same.
So, it
Oh,
should
that
stay.
discussion.
It's been properly moving second.
Oh, I second that thing.
Yeah.
Perkins.
Any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
I think we should state, well, I guess I want, Superintendent Jones to, Ms. Beard.
Yeah.
You see the reason we should make any changes, Ms. Beard?
No, I always let you all decide that, because I don't know if you all ever wanna change the time. Some board members had mentioned that to me. I don't know if you all wanna be back at the cube, or if you wanna do locations throughout. Board members have mentioned that, so I always put TBD in there for time and location, for you guys to agree on.
Okay.
And I think we normally do that, as we go along. Sometimes we have to change it, but that's how,
Yeah.
didn't know what our schedule's like. So
Okay,
I
so
think
we
it
just
should.
go keep it at the
Yes.
cube at the
Yeah.
same time. If we
Yeah.
need to make adjustments, we'll make adjustments.
Right.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
that's all I'm saying. That's all for Melody.
Okay,
So for me,
roll call. To approve action item 21.11. Trustee King is absent, Looney is absent, trustee Rutherford,
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre,
Yes.
trustee Booth,
Yes.
Secretary Perkins,
yes.
and myself, yes, 5 yes, 2 absent.
Okay.
Where am I at now?
Oh, academic committee, 25, 125.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Page 19, Dr. Reed, that's,
On page 19.
that's what you was asking about.
Okay, board members. I would like to seek a motion and second from the board to amend the agenda by adding the NSBA National Board Training as an action item for consideration this evening.
So moved. Support.
It's been properly moved and second. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yes,
is that Regina?
well, yes, NSBA.
Okay. That's the national.
Yeah, that's for the board to, take training to become a national certified board. It's an individual certification, and, you get the award at the national convention in October. It's a 40-hour training, and each individual board member that takes the training will hold their own national board certification.
We get to walk on that stage.
Yes,
Everybody
ma'am.
can see
Yes,
us.
ma'am. Yes, we do.
gotta be
And I
a-
think we would be one of the first, in the district, and they NSBA selected Flint, selected Flint, and think that we
Oh.
deserve that. Roll call vote.
Oh,
Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Trustee Booth.
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre.
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford.
yes.
Myself, yes. 5 yes, 2 absent. The agenda is amended accordingly. At this time, I seek a motion and second to approve the participation in the NSBA National Board Training in the amount not to exceed $64,000, utilizing funding from the 21H grant, continue upon grant approval. Seek a motion and a second. I'm in properly moving. Go ahead.
So moved.
Support.
Proper moved and supported. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
if the funding doesn't come through, where we gonna get the funding from the board's account or our if the funding doesn't come, the grant doesn't come through, are we gonna pull money out of the board's budget?
My understanding that it's already pre-approved. Go ahead.
It's pre-approved, but I think that has to be a conversation if for some reason
Yeah.
that they say no, for some reason that I don't see coming right now.
Mhm.
But if something happens like that, I just think we should come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Have
board
a
would come back
conversation.
as a whole
Alright.
and make that
And make
decision.
a decision, yeah.
Okay.
I don't want it to be
Pam, can that be
carte blanche.
reflected in the minutes, that if it's not approved, we'll come back? Please and thank you.
Board members, I call your name, there's a motion to approve the participation in NSBA National Board Training based upon continue of the grant. If the grant is not approved, we will come back as a board as a whole to see where these fundings come from. Board members, I call your name, say yes or no. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Trustee Booth?
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
Yes.
And myself, yes, 5 yes, 2 absent. Superintendent John, please continue with the academic actions.
I seek a motion in a second from the board to approve resolution 25.6, approval of YMCA safety around water swimming program.
So moved.
Support.
It's been properly moved and second. Any discussions?
Yes.
Yes, trustee Rutherford. And
Oh.
then trustee, McIntyre.
This is my question. This is at the Y, correct? Safety swimming, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is this? Do it. Oh, okay, that's the problem then. Have a seat. I can't find this. How much is this? What is it? $35,000?
35,000, yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say this, cause you know, for a living, I work in insurance, right? Insurance company pay for that. We'll give money for that. Say so. So, just, first and foremost, I want you to know that because, one, it helps with students regulating their behavior in the water. So that, you know, it has been, found medically that helps with, at-risk, ADHD and just a lot of impulsive reactions. So, I just want to say that. And, is that just for our students? Would that be during school where we transport them? Like second or third hour, then they come back. Okay, all our kiddos got swimming caps and towels and water shoes and goggles.
All of we inform parents on the permission slip of all of the requirements that they'll need as far as swimsuit, caps, and all those things. And then if scholars don't have them, the YMCA provides it for them.
So are they brand new or are they used?
They are not brand new, but they're sanitized. But in most cases, at least in my experience as a principal, and with other principals, in most cases, the children come with their items.
So if our babies do not happen to have it, so we won't be a burden on the family, could you let me know? This is just because, again, insurance companies, especially kids with Medicaid, they do have funding. It's called community engagement. They do have funding set aside for that. So that could definitely fall up under social determinants of health. And so there's dollars set aside for that. I just don't want kids using other people's stuff that's been on other people's bottoms.
I understand that.
Okay. Thank you.
Trustee McIntyre.
Yeah, I'm totally in support of this. I'm just wondering why it's limited though. Like, is there any way to expand this to include more grades, more students, more time? I mean, because it's like, you know, I just remember doing swimming in Flint schools every year, not just limited to the 4th grade. And to your point, Melody, they used to have school swimsuits that they would wash and distribute at the beginning of class. Yes.
Yes.
But I'm old, so. Yeah,
Well,
it
I'm
was
old too, but
it was, yeah, it was disgusting, but that's
Well,
how
you can go in the
it
store and
was. That's how it
try on
was.
clothes in the store.
Yeah, there's chlorine.
Trustee McIntyre,
Uh-huh.
I think we do have a issue with like drivers and enough to take
Right.
all of the kids.
Is that?
With
Yeah,
grade
yeah.
levels, yeah. So it's not as easy as I'm sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, I'm sorry.
No, you have
do
to
your
go.
job.
Do your job.
So it's a combination of drivers and the YMCA's capacity. And so they looked at what would be the zone of proximal development for swimming, which is 4th grade across the district. And since we've been doing it for 14 years, you kind of capture all the children in the district over the years when you do it like that. However, it is a great opportunity for us to get back with the YMCA and see, particularly with the new Y and all of the new things that are going on, if we can expand the programming. So we can look into
Because
that.
we used to have a swimming pool in every school, you know, and then there was the what was the organization? There was a Michigan law that you had to learn how to swim by age 6, like in the.
That's been before my time.
You had to before my time, so I showed it.
But I'm just, you know, it would just, I would like to see some way that we can sort of be creative and think about how to just expand this more.
Absolutely.
Given that we have so many bodies of water in this state and.
Okay, thank you. So they are going to be downtown at the Y. You know, before this one, our way out to Flushing. So this is probably going to be exciting because they be going down to the Y.
This one is the Pearson Road.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
one is
you
the
want to
but-
Pearson Road?
Yes, I
But
mentioned
you're not.
it.
I thought you said something about downtown.
Right, I mentioned the downtown Y because of the fact, because of the proximity, we were talking about expanding.
Okay.
There may be
okay.
an opportunity for us to expand programming, but presently, right now, it's at the Pearson Road.
Okay.
Y.
All right.
And we can't use the downtown, like, why aren't we?
It's different management, interestingly enough, it's different management, so.
It's,
But that's an opportunity for expansion, for sure, is
Okay.
that we can still.
I'm not sure. Okay. Seeing no further discussion, roll call. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Trustee Booth,
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre,
Yes.
Trustee Relico,
Yes.
myself, yes, 5 yes, 2 absent.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 25.7, Michigan High Schools Athletic Association.
Okay.
So moved.
Is this a second?
Second, sorry.
It's been properly moved and second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Jones, explain that. I thought we joined the GAC.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
this is for you, this is for our kids to compete statewide in district tournaments, and you have to be under MHSAA rules in order to actually function as
Yes.
a district in athletics.
I just found that odd that we were accepted into a league and we didn't have that. That's why I asked. You know, we joined GAC.
We had this.
Oh, we
We've
had
always had
Oh, okay.
MHSAA.
You never lost it.
We never lost this.
Okay.
We just didn't have a conference to play in.
Okay, so
So
you did have it. This
We
was
did
already in
have
place.
this.
is
Yeah,
renewed.
every year we have this.
Gotcha. Okay.
Good question. Any more discussion? Roll call. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Trustee Booth?
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre?
Yes.
Trustee Relico?
Yes.
And myself, yes, 5 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
See, Mr. Jones.
Yes, ma'am. Seek a motion and a second from the board to approve 25.8 approval of unique learning systems, instructional materials, and professional learning for mild cognitive impairment classrooms. Ms. Fields, you wanna
That would actually
elaborate?
be.
Oh, well, we gotta get the,
That would actually be.
oh, I'm
Michelle
sorry.
for
Come on over.
LSI.
But I was.
We need a
I didn't
motion
get-
and
there
a
we go.
second. Okay,
So moved.
Support.
it's been properly moved and second. Is there any discussion?
Oh my God. Yeah. Madam Chair.
Yes.
Okay. This a room classroom with special needs equipment and stuff and pillows and dark rooms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a what? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was talking to you. But,
Yeah, it's up for discussion, yes.
Okay, it's a classroom. So mildly cognitive impairment. Explain what is mild cognitive impairment?
So these are students who have been assessed that have their cognition, their adaptive functioning, and their achievement scores fall well below the deficit range, where average is anywhere from 90 to 112. Their standard cognition score is below 70 or below.
Mm-hmm.
And as is their adaptive functioning, their achievement scores fall at or below the 6th percentile.
Mm-hmm.
For our students, we have both scholars who have cognitive impairments, as well as students who are eligible under autism spectrum disorder. And those students who are in our MyKai programs have pretty significant complex needs, and their instruction is aligned to the essential elements that is modified from the Common Core state standards. So we're looking for the instructional materials that align with those essential elements that are approved by Michigan Department of Education. Currently, our teachers use what they can find, and that's unacceptable. So we want to make sure that they have flexible instructional materials in English, math, ELA, math, social studies, and science, that they have pacing guides, that they can adapt materials so that they are meet the individual needs of students, and that they can that they are on a course of study that leads to outcomes where they can learn like every other child to their greatest capacity.
What grade level is this? K through 12?
Pre-K through 12.
Pre-K through. How many students would this impact?
300. It averages about $53 per student per year.
3 per student. And will these classrooms have different lighting or just material? We're just talking material?
These are instructional
Just
materials.
instructional material.
It includes PD at no cost to the district.
Okay, I guess I was hoping, when I saw classrooms, I kind of got excited to have I know some kids are sensitive to sound
Oh, absolutely.
and light.
And we provide that. We have, anytime we have students who are sensitive to sound, we keep headphones in our offices and distribute them to
So
students.
this right here, just you guys already have what I'm referring to.
Absolutely.
This is just a material.
It would be our HMH. HMH?
Mm-hmm.
It would be her
What's
HMH.
HMH?
The curriculum materials for the general population, the general students.
So every
in the
teacher
district.
have access to
Yes.
material. Okay. Okay, I mean, yes for me. Trustee McIntyre.
So what company provides this?
Everway.
Everway?
Yes, a lot of,
Right here.
I am,
Okay, thank you.
Page 224.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what that was.
Is this something that teachers wanna use?
absolutely, both Director, Ms. Fields and myself went through the demo, as well as a sampling of teachers in the MyKai programs, and they were very excited about it.
Okay, where's the evidence-based results that show that this has an impact?
I can provide that for you if you would like that.
But you've seen that and you're satisfied with that?
Absolutely. I'm very familiar with unique learning systems.
Okay.
The county also uses it with it has ability bands and grade bands, and so it can be flexible to a mild cognitive impairment all the way to a significant cognitive impairment and across grade levels. So we're pretty excited.
Okay. Sounds good.
Seeing no further discussion, roll call. Trustee Perkins,
Yes.
trustee Booth,
Yes.
trustee McIntyre,
Yes.
trustee Rutherford,
Yes.
and myself, yes. 5 yes, 2 absent. Proceed, Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Thank you.
I seek a motion and a second for the board to approve action item 25.9 CKH, Capture Kids Hearts, sorry.
Yes.
I can't-
It's been seeking a second.
Support.
Been properly moved. Discussion.
So where's the evidence that this actually does anything at all?
So our students have actually, we've decreased behaviors, including fighting. That was one of the top ones that we had, I think, coming into our contract with Capturing Kids' Hearts 3 years ago. Fighting has been reduced to the 4th lowest issue in the district. In addition to that, the number of suspendable days that we've had over the last 3 years, well, they've not decreased a lot by suspendable days, they have by incidences. And with students that have participated in it, and the state has a formula of which they expect for you to stay between a certain amount each day of suspendable students, and we've reduced that number at almost by 50% in all the schools, with ALA currently being one of the schools that has the highest record for that.
How is it linked to the program?
I'm sorry?
How are these outcomes linked to the program and
I
not
think
to
that
some
that's,
other
I think that that's a
variable?
really, I actually think that's a really good question.
I know it's a good question, so.
Ms. McIntyre, I think it's a really great question. And to that point, we'll be engaging in program evaluation with Capturing Kids' Hearts this year to include all stakeholders to be able to go ahead and.
Has the program been evaluated?
The program has been evaluated, we'll be evaluating again this year.
You mean it was evaluated last year?
At the beginning of the contract that we had at the first year, so it's time for renewal at this point in time.
So where's the results of those evaluations?
I'd be able to provide them to you the last time it was program evaluated.
When was that?
That would have been at the beginning of when they went ahead and we entered into contract with Capturing Kids' Hearts.
Wait, so so what was the date that we entered into, and when was it
been on our
evaluated?
last, my contract when I started here down here was the first time that was evaluated that I was down here.
What date, what year was
Was that last year or 2 years ago?
It would have been 2 years ago.
So 2 years ago, and it's been evaluated one time?
In the last 3 years that I've been down here, yes.
Okay, and we did ask for those results. So you're saying that we do have results and that you'll
I can
provide
provide them
them for us?
for you.
Cause I don't see any evidence, I have never seen any evidence that capturing kids' hearts does anything.
I think-
Except anecdotal, and I wanna see the numbers, I'm not convinced that there's anything, so how do you have indicators and variables linked to the outcomes that you've talked about, like increase, decrease in behavioral incidents, suspension rates, all those kind of things? How is that directly linked to capturing kids' hearts and not to some other, like doing restorative justice work and other things that we're doing outside of that program?
I think that with all three of the programs that we have that support social emotional well-being, both PPSC, with our restorative practices and with capturing kids' hearts, it would be hard to delineate which one actually is most impactful in that particular situation. And we spend and invest in all three of those programs at some really, really high dollar amounts.
Right, so
Restorative practices and
why do we have
PPSC.
3 programs and we haven't evaluated the 3 of them to look at which have the most efficacy and which are the most impactful?
We, on a yearly basis, engage in a tiered fidelity inventory, which is part of the overview of the social emotional programs that we have with the GISD. I do have evidence and data that I can provide and support for you of what the outcomes were of those evaluations. And in all 3 of those instances, we have to do restorative practices because that's part of the state's expectation. PPSC also is. Capturing Kids' Hearts is a supplement to that. Capturing Kids' Hearts is the way that we engage in the business, or talk about the business, the way of social emotional well-being. The positive PBIS or PPSC, is now it's called by the GISD, is the vehicle of which these things are delivered, and the restorative practices are the way that we expect our community to behave. So they work in tandem with one another, and it would be difficult to extract any of those particular programs to say which one was the most impactful. But to your point, and I do believe that that's a great question about capturing kids' hearts, is there needs to be a, not just the program evaluation committee, but I believe that the board could be part of that particular opportunity.
So we don't know if it's impactful or if it works.
I have data to be able to support that.
But you're just saying that you couldn't differentiate or delineate between the 3 because they're so integrated. So if we were just to remove capturing kids' hearts, we'd have the 2 other components of it.
I would argue that most programs are difficult to delineate, whether it's an academic program or whether it's a social emotional well-being program, to be able to extract exactly which program has as much impact is what I'm saying.
A good regression analysis, you could.
Okay. I appreciate it.
All right, any more discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
how long has Capturing Kids' Hearts been in the district?
I think that it's been in the district 10 years now, if I'm not mistaken.
10 years.
And we've had in that 10 years, at least 5 of our schools, at least 5 right now are nationally recognized capturing kids' hearts schools, and all 5 of those particular schools have shown a reduction in both suspendable days and a decrease in behavior.
Were any of those schools Holmes or Southwestern?
They were, yes. Not Southwestern, just Homes.
For me, it's challenging to me because that's where we lose our students. Is middle school, and for 10 years, I can't speak for anything prior to 2023, but since 2023, I haven't seen one person from Capturing Kids' Heart come and advocate for capturing kids' hearts. For me, the behavior of our students may have improved 5%, but then it goes backwards 20%. We have a lot of gang activities. We have a lot of students that big brawl. I think that was one of the main things for me when we were out of town and how that happened. And I don't see the students utilizing what Capturing Kids' Heart says they're teaching. So I guess for me, where is the disconnect? We're spending over $200,000, and we invested, I want to say, what, millions of dollars? If it's been 10 years, we've probably invested almost close to what, $10 million in capturing kids' hearts. I may be exaggerating, 2 or 3 million, but I'm gonna say no. And what I'm saying, I don't want to, I'm gonna say no to the approval because I don't think it's worth us to continue to throw bad money. You don't throw good money after bad money. And I just think, I don't know, one of the ways I heard this gambler say it. But anyway, I think the gamble, it's not worth the gamble for me because I think we need more hands-on. I would look for us to, I'm gonna be totally transparent. I cover Saginaw. Saginaw High has a group of men, probably about 25. They're all separated into all of the schools. They go into the schools every single day. And they're able to engage with the students to make good decisions. I'm for something like that because they're from the community, they grew up in the community, and they're giving back, capturing kids' hearts. I don't even think they understand our community. Our community is a community of resilience, but you have everyone coming from outside with these amazing ideas on writing, but they don't, it doesn't work for our students. Our students need compassion and care. They need to know that you can listen without judging. They need to know that they can come and tell you, I get raped every day. Capturing kids' heart, can't speak to that. But they love their parents. So how can capturing kids' heart? I'm gonna have to go to the young lady who lost her life to be at that funeral and to see all those students totally broken. But to see her 3 friends eulogize her. And after they were so full of life talking about their friend, but as soon as it was over, they went to nothing. And the mom says to me, and I happen to see the 3 little girls, and the mom said, all she does is cry. I don't know what to do. And so I'm able to look at the baby and have a conversation with her. We need that.
Okay.
We need that. And I don't see capturing kids' heart doing that in 10 years. And it's like, how many times do we have to be experimental? You know, we want results. And I don't see the results. I know synergy. People pick and choose what they put in synergy. So therefore, I would say the data that you receive is skewed because individuals, they decide because they want their data to look a certain way. And therefore, what comes out is not reflecting what's actually going on. When you have a conversation with parents who's constantly up to the school, they are the ones I believe because they're there. And then when you hear kids talk, kids tell the truth. They tell the truth, and what they're saying is not what this is addressing after 10 years. So I can only speak for 2023, but I just want us, you all, expect more. Show me what you can do. Give them scenarios, and listen to them. Articulate it. How do you case studies? How do you handle watching your dad blow your mom's brains out? How do you handle being pregnant at 11 years old, but you still want to be with your friends? How do you handle your brother decide your brother's 10 and he's running the household, or your sister's 8, she's cooking dinner, getting everybody off to school? I can speak to this because as I was at Freeman, I had to deal with that every day. And that's real life situations. How do you do it? When they don't have water, they don't have food, they don't have a bed. They got a big hole in their window. Okay, I just wanted to share that.
If I could offer this, please. I'd
Well,
like to offer
hold on,
this.
hold on. Is it okay for her?
Okay, we going on and on. We're talking about capturing kid heart,
That's part of it.
and they're sharing their stories and experience. As this board president, we have to realize how long has this program been in the district serving the kids? I don't think we should snatch this away with one vote without us as board member doing due diligence. What are you gonna replace this with? At this time, what are we gonna replace this with? Now, we got some issues with this, but I think we talk about children, all of that, and what they don't want. We hadn't surveyed all of those kids and asked them anything. I hear what my colleagues are saying. I've been on the board 6 years. I've been hearing about capturing kid, and I worked in the school district. I don't think nobody worked in the school district long as I have worked with kids. But I think that it wouldn't be fair to the students or to this district to take this away and don't replace it with something else, because evidently they're working with this. What the board can do, you have a whole year to look at what other alternative can we have. It's one thing to complain about it and see what is needed, but we as the board has the power to say, hey, let's do some investigation. You guys went and got what you wanted, what you thought needed for the district 10 years ago. Most of us been on here 6 and less years. And I just asked the board to really think about this here, because you might be getting your way and saying, I don't like this. But let's just be truly honest. What is the kid getting from this? Some of them might get some don't. It shows that we don't even hardly have expulsion hearing anymore. So something is happening pretty decent around here. We've worked on that. So I'm just saying that either we can vote this up or down. It's down to 5 board members. Superintendent Jones had something to say then, Perkins.
I just, I would say that our students need a lot. Our students need a lot. We do have community members, Trustee Rutherford, men that shows up, shake their hands, meet with them, DeJuan Robinson and his group, meet with these guys on a regular basis. Not enough. I think that we need more. We're trying to get more of the fraternities to come and men in the community to be a part. So I do agree that we need that portion, but we also need the portion that says staff. We have to learn how to talk to kids. We need to learn. And now are we there? No. But we have to have some way to regulate it until, like you said, Board President, if there's an alternative that will come, I am more than open to hearing an alternative that will come later in our dialogue and conversations. But I don't want us to do away with not having anything, and then we have to come up with something in the meantime until a year later when we get something. So that's my comments. I'll just stop right there.
Trustee Perkins.
Yeah.
Okay, I went to a session of Capturing Kids' Hearts at Southwestern, so they did have it there. And it was a good class, but I think we need to be involved a little bit more, and we need restructuring. And we know what our problems are. We need to pinpoint them and maybe help structure the Capturing Kids' Hearts to suit Southwestern or wherever they're having, that session. Because I think it could be a good program, a really good one. But I think we know a lot of the triggers, and I think we could be a great help in helping to be a part of the structural parts of it. That's what I think.
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre.
So this shouldn't come as a surprise or a shock if anyone's been listening to me for the past couple of years about my criticisms of this program and about asking for evidence-based results and if this is actually doing anything. And I'm just tired of coming every single year and voting for stuff that's grant funded just because we're just rubber stamping it. And I've said I'm not going to vote for Capturing Kids' Hearts again. I mean, I don't understand why that's a surprise to anybody. I mean, either you withdraw it if you don't want to not have anything, but I said I wasn't gonna unless you showed me that there was evidence to support this. I think the reason why we don't have as many suspensions is because we changed board policy and we made sure that we implemented restorative justice practices at the board level with the expulsion hearings. So I mean, I'm tired of saying the same things over and over again and not seeing any results. I asked for results, haven't seen them. I'm not.
So, Board President, I would say this: in an effort to support the staff and the work that we've been doing, if this is going to get voted down and we have nothing next year, then I would withdraw my motion before I allow this to die and we have nothing.
Then you probably should. Yeah.
Well, I want to, I comment on that, and I appreciate that, because what I'm saying now is that 6 years I've been on the board, the other 10 or 15 years, especially during the water crisis. It was one of the tools that really was a survival tools in the classroom because we didn't have anything else. Now, down through years, how much we improve it, I don't know. But I know for a fact that I utilized the program over at Door Rider and those kids. And once again, if you ain't sitting there and seen what some benefit it does have, everything need improvement. But to take a ball or take away something that can have a benefit a kid because we have our ideology, what we think that program should be, without giving the district time enough or being fair with yourself as leaders, what are you going to replace it with? You know what it is you want. You're the board. Sit here and come in with a plan. What is it that you want? Do some research. That's what I do. When I go out looking for stuff for the board, I go out and do the research. What is it that we need different? But I would just really recommend, since they're so adamant about postponing it, why don't you just withdraw the motion, Mr. Jones?
Yeah, and when you come back,
He has to withdraw the motion.
okay, but I wanted to
Let him withdraw the motion.
Oh, okay.
I give him the floor.
I'll table this and withdraw the motion.
Thank you. Trustee
And when-
Perkins.
And when you come back, bring your documentation, cause you know this
That's
stuff
what she
is
asked for,
coming
yeah.
up. It's always coming up.
If you don't, we'll put it, send it to us, and Pam will put it in the
Something.
tracker, and we'll be looking for that in the tracker. The tracker is that we're requesting the data, Ms. McIntyre, what are we requesting? What are you requesting from her?
Any evidence that the program's working.
Okay, evidence based. So that motion has been withdrawn.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm trying to find my
Last page.
last page.
Last.
Okay, you guys, Bartek on page 250. Is there any question concerning Bartek? If it's not, we will move down to board remarks from individual board members.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
first of all, thank you. Thought this was a good meeting. I wanna just comment on why I said no to supporter services from GISD. Those 4 positions are $725,000. 4 positions. And as I said, I've been on this board since 2023. I've been in the district. I know a lot of the I know a lot of the staff members, and a lot of the staff don't feel like they're treated well by supportive services leadership. So I say no. That's why I voted no, because the way they feel disrespected, the way they just feel like they're nothing, and it's like nothing happens to supportive service employees that don't do right. For example, someone sent me an email at 9:00 at night being requested to be somewhere at 8:00 in the morning. I don't think internal employee would have gotten away with that without receiving some type of verbal consultation or something. So I just think the expectation, whether or not you are an employee of the district or you're in the district, it should be some type of structure and accountability. Because you're not a district employee, should not give you the green light to do and say whatever you choose to say and do. So I will always vote no until I know that the staff will be treated with respect and dignity, because they deserve it. But also on another note, as it relates to bright ideas and the use of our property, I think the district needs to really pay attention and listen. All money's not good money. And it's just interesting how you have an entity that's making a decision if we don't give them something, they can't get money. And we're so easy to just say we want to make sure you get that money, so we just go give this to you. We can't do it. We should be in that business. We should be in a partnership business. We'll help you, but we're not going to entitle you. So our property is for us to manage. Our property can take care of us from now on. If the federal government decides never to give us another dollar because of our property, we utilize it correctly, we could be fine. And as board members, we need to look at that. How is this property going to take care of the next generation? Because the last I checked, we're not getting any more land. So if we utilize our land properly now, that's why everyone's interested in Flint schools. Because we have something no one else has. So therefore, we set the price, we set the expectation, not anyone else. And I'll say this publicly. My foundation has all the money in the world, but they cannot build land. That's what makes us powerful. That's what makes us powerful. Because you can't move without land. You can't. And I just asked the board, think about that. Where are we and what are we doing for generations to come? We're in a good position. We just gotta act like it. We're not in a needy position. We're not. We're in an authoritative position to where we can authorize. We can accept and reject. Take our ball and go home. That's all I have to say.
Claudia Perkins.
We, I just want to first of all commend the administration for the graduation at the Whiting. The charcuterie was just off the chart. Thank you so much. I also was
Not
very,
us, just so you know, that was Southwestern. I just want to give them
Well,
their
whoever it
flowers, and we
was.
don't take advantage of that.
whoever it was. And the other thing is, well, it was organized
nice,
pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a good flow this time, you know, at the graduation. And Holmes also. When we went to Holmes, that was nice. And I was so proud of the children, and the speakers were out of sight. That was Dr. McNeil and that was Judge Marsh. So kudos to both of them. And I was just proud of the children that came through. And I just want us to I want us to get it together. I think maybe we need to do some investigating, the board. Just maybe pop in and see what's really going on. So when we sitting at the table, we can make sound decisions on things that, you know, that we have control over. That's just something I think we should do. But that's all I got.
Trustee Booth.
First of all, I really enjoyed the graduations this year, and I'm very impressed with the participation, of the staff and the parents. And I really appreciate the parents keeping our kids in the Flint schools, and that's very important. And when I was attending the graduation at Holmes Middle School, I was just wondering how many of those kids, the 79, I think it was about 79 students, will be going over to Southwestern. And I'm hoping that you have the administration have a good follow-up, a letter, you know, some type of letter to the parents to make sure, try to encourage them to go to Southwestern, and also remind them that we're building a new school, you know. And that's all I want to say. I'm really enjoyed this meeting. I learned a lot. I'm still learning a lot about negotiations. That's not my strength, but academically, I do know that we need to do a little bit, push a little harder, and have a higher expectation of our kids, because it'll make us look good, and then it make them feel good, and be good. You know, we say in our vision that we're trying to create some community of learners. So we need to really be focused in on that. We can't just have it in writing. We just have to be active in making sure that our kids become learning, so they can be support the community that they live in and abroad. That's it.
Trustee Knight.
So I'm really happy about the graduation. Thanks for bringing that up because I thought it was really celebratory. I thought it was nice. I love using the whiting. I really would wish that the whiting was more of a partner with the schools, though. Not gatekeeping water from our scholars and from the parents. I'm disheartened with the cultural center's attitude towards the schools. It still has a long way to go, but partnership. Let's keep working on that. It's getting better, I think, incrementally. I also wanted to just thank superintendent and the administration team for. I know that these are hard meetings, these are contentious meetings, and we love you all, and it's concern for the kids, concern for the district. I just want what's best, so it's not like a personal attack or anything, but I want us all to be more accountable, and to follow through with a lot of the things that we've been talking about over the years to keep our momentum moving forward and to keep with the positive changes that we've been doing. I think the Central High School site, I'm really impressed with the branding on it, with what's
Barcodes.
the thing that
Screen, the screen.
thank you.
QR codes.
The
I said
QR
barcodes.
code on the
The
banner.
fencing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
That's
the,
good.
it looks so nice. It's exciting. It's exciting. It doesn't look like just a dump where we're tearing things down, and it doesn't look like a construction site. It looks like community building. And we went by, we were just like, oh my God, look at that. So, but let's keep pushing for that partnership because we're still not being included with the cultural center. We want to be right there, shoulder to shoulder with them. And so we've still got to fight for what our kids deserve, so that's kind of where my grumpiness is coming from. It's just, I just want so much for the schools. And yeah, so thank you for putting up with me.
Thank you. I want to get some remarks about this property. We can't keep going back on our words because we get new board members. We had a big program going. The previous board member, we voted for. Some of the profit would be for in-kind, that we wanted the people to be able to take some of the property and do something for the community. We agreed to that. We got over 600 acres of land that we're not using, got 28 buildings sitting on them. That don't even include, we talk about wealth and stuff, they do the calculation. You got 8 or 9 schools open on land that you're using. Land doesn't mean anything if you can't make it work. You got abandoned buildings sitting on land, which has no value to it until you take their buildings off. This board has worked very hard in trying to secure demolition for 4 buildings. And we still got a lot of work to do that was dumped in our lap as board members. We're talking about 28 years. So we got some buildings that's small parcel. We got certain things that what are you holding on to? I'm not saying give away everything, but use common sense. Sometimes you want to blame the foundation for all of these problems. They ain't the enemy. It's the people sitting at the table decision making. That's why we're in the situation that we're in. You give it away for little or nothing. Whether we like it or not, we in a situation where we have to make tough decisions. And we're talking about partnership, and then we want to blame everybody else, but blame the people that you put in these seats. The community wants some action. They want to see things moving. And we are moving in the right direction. But we're going to have to make some decision about blight, And they holding us responsible for it. And the board has the power to make decision about this property. It's not a one board member decision, and they changed the vote to 5. So whatever the 5 say, we get the votes, it'll happen. But I don't think a person should be put on hold that were waiting years ago, and then we changed the stuff, we gave them their money back, and because and didn't do a motion to reconsider, illegally gave them their money back because we had made a deal with them. So here we are again, these same people coming back and say, hey, be fair. Be fair in your dealing. We're talking about small parcels, them pre-K buildings. And we still got to make a decision about them. But what do we want to do as a board? You think about it. Do I want to sit here and prove my point and end up losing it some kind of way if you don't know how to make land into money and turn it around? What are you going to do with it? Have nobody came here with a good suggestion? What are we going to do with 600 acres of land, 28 buildings? I'm not forgiving anybody anyway, anything away. But however, if I can see that it's going to do something for the community and the kids, and it's going to help, yes. We gave Longfellow, hadn't heard from them. King, has not heard from them. I am going to reach back out to Trum because he has been sending me letters regarding this situation. But it's just only one of me. We got to get all this stuff together and sit down and work. We can't even have a decent financial meeting. Can't even come up with a plan. We had a pretty decent plan almost 4 or 5 years ago when we was working. We had people in the audience talking about property. Trum spent thousands of dollars giving us the process how we was going to do that. Now we got to start all back over, and he's going to make more money. So when you come to me talking about land, come to me with a plan. And I appreciate your time sitting here. Yes, Trum has advised me of you too. We're talking about a small parcel of land that they are taking care of. These 2 people right here are taking care of it. A little space, a lot. I got a problem. I got now because sitting in my backyard. What they're gonna do to my tax credit? My striving school. We had no problem. We closed it. We threw 160 some kids out of the district. So I don't know if people want to hear about it, but it doesn't matter. We got to make some decisions. And the foundation is not your enemy. We have worked very closely with them, very close with our partners. And I don't want us to start throwing out those eyes about they doing this, they doing that. The board have to come up with a plan. And I've been here 6 years, and nobody gave me a plan. Seeing that there's no further discussion, we have you want to talk about that on the 17th, and I can join this meeting.
I'm looking forward to, all of you getting a shovel in your hand, putting on a hard hat, standing there and tossing that dirt. This is a long time coming, and it probably won't happen again in our lifetime. So I just want us to have a good time with this on that day. Groundbreaking 4 p.m.
And you have 45 seconds, board members. Ms. Bearden, they will have a timer on. Once that 45 seconds go off, you would stop you and we'll move to the next people because we have other people on the program.
Okay.
Thank you. It is now
7:36.
7:36. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. See y'all later. Hey, Kevin.